Hey folks, welcome back to Castfly. Glad you could join me today. I get a lot of questions how I record my fishing videos and what kind of cameras I use, how I mount my cameras, how I power my cameras, all that and more. And so I'm going to go through that today and share with you guys kind of my setup, and so that if you're looking into recording your own outdoor adventures, this is a great start to that, kind of a kickstart to that. And for those that are using cameras now to record maybe for YouTube, hopefully this helps you adapt and maybe upgrade to something new to improve your quality of recordings. I've been doing this for quite a while now, and I think I've got it pretty well dialed in for me. So yeah, glad you're here. Let's get into it. So first up, the cameras. I'm running two different cameras right now. I call the first camera that I use, which is usually mounted on my chest, I call that my A camera. It is a GoPro 13. It does all of the regular shots that you guys see on my chest, fly fishing, casting and catching the fish. And then I usually have camera B, which handles all the scenery shots. Maybe it's a wide angle shot of me fishing or me looking directly at you guys talking to you about my adventure for the day. So I run two different cameras, and the 13 and the 9 are great cameras. Haven't had any problems with them. The one thing I'll say about the 13 compared to probably the 9, the 10 and 11 is that the download speed, if you're downloading from the camera to your iPad or your computer, it's a lot faster and it's very noticeable. So if I was going to pull the trigger on a new camera, it would be the 13. So as far as accessories go, for both my 9 and my 13, man, GoPro's got a new kit out. It's called the GoPro Contacto. Great name. But what it does is it enables you to replace the door on your GoPro with this mag door. And so you pull off the old door and simply pop on this new door, which now gives you this magnetic lock on the side for a cable, just to magnetically power the unit. And guys, this is a game changer. The Contacto kit comes with a few cables. I think a 1.6 long cable and maybe a 3.9, but they all come with this magnetic piece on it right here that you just snap on, and then the other side is a USB-C. It also comes with this awesome little extension cable that lets you snap on there, and then a USB-C adapter, so you can run a longer USB cable maybe out to your battery pack that's 10 feet away or 5 feet away from you, or where this is mounted maybe on your kayak. So this is a great little accessory kit that works well, and I'll show you guys how I integrate it into my whole chest mount and everything. The other new accessory I like to use with my GoPro, my 13 especially, is this new GoPro magnetic latch mount. This is super nice, guys. If you're used to or know of the GoPro cameras, they have these nice little feet at the bottom that you use a thumb screw to attach to a number of different mounts, right? So you can do away with those and use this magnetic lock latch, and it is magnetic with 2 latch pins, and so you just simply lock it on there, and then when you want to take it off, boom, comes right off. So it makes it really convenient if you're wanting to move your camera from, like, let's say your chest over to a tripod, or maybe you want to store it away and protect the camera. It makes it real simple to do that, and you're not having to unscrew it a million times a day. So this is a great little accessory. You could have one on your chest mount and then also have one on your tripod to make that quick movement back and forth. So great little accessory. I would definitely recommend this. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to talk about is the chest mount. This is made by Stuntman. There's a number of different chest mounts out there. I've tried them all, to be honest, and GoPro makes a great one, but I really love this one. It's a little bit bigger, and I like to say that it's a little bit more rigid. It fits nicely on the chest, and it's actually, you guys can probably see this, it's kind of concaved here a little bit, and I'll show you why that's important here in a minute. But also, it has this wonderful what I call a knuckle on a ball, so that you can rotate and move the camera in and out. And I'll show you why that's important too. So when I'm recording, there we go, we just hooked the camera on. When I'm recording and you guys are watching me or watching the camera fish, you'll see me casting, right? And then as soon as I catch a fish, and maybe the fish is getting closer to me, I simply reach down. Like for instance, if I'm getting ready to net the fish, I simply reach down and just pull the camera down towards my feet to grab the action that's right in front of me, right? Sometimes I do that even when I'm showing you guys something up close, like a fly or a fly box. So what's cool is when you do that and you're centering the action or the fish in front of you, you can actually look at that through the screen and actually super center whatever is going on in front of me and give you guys the best look at what I'm looking at, right? So I've been running this chest mount for probably about 4 months, and I'm in love with it. It works great. It's very comfortable. The straps are a little bit bigger than the GoPros, and so yeah, it's great. Great product. So tripods. I have a number of different tripods that I've tested over the years. Millions of them out there on Amazon, and they all do what they do, right? But this is the best one I've found. You know, it's you can kind of move it around and do whatever you want with it, but you can mount a number of accessories to it just like anything. This one, I've got this adapter so that I can mount my phone, right? If I wanted to capture some stuff with my phone, I could do that. I can mount my GoPro on it, and it just kind of enables me to kind of move these legs however and articulate it so the camera gets set up. I can also lock these so I can kind of use it as a selfie stick. It's made out of aluminum. I haven't had any issues with it. It works great, and it's reasonably priced, and it's just a really great little tripod. And so I would definitely recommend getting some kind of small tripod like this. Works great for what you're trying to do out there. Okay, we're going to talk about how I power my cameras, and this has been a work in progress for a long time, guys. I've spent a lot of, let's say, an R&D time trying to figure this out to really maximize my recording out there, my power out there, everything. So one of the first things I do when I get a GoPro is take the battery out that comes with it. I don't use GoPro batteries at all. Haven't for probably 4 years. Just not necessary. So what's nice about having this contacto door is, again, we can connect with this cable, right? Let's just go ahead and do this. So set that up. Let's put the camera on the chest mount, just like that. And on the back side of our chest mount, where I told you it was concaved a little bit here, I have some power packs. Some guys I've tested. I will get crazy here. I've probably tested about 30 different power packs. Usually, you know, I don't buy a bunch of them if they don't work. These work, and so I stand by it. It's a low-cost power pack that works great. And what I've done is I put Velcro on the back side of this chest mount, a large patch of it, probably a little overkill, but hey. And then I've put some Velcro on this power pack. On this power pack, you can see that there's some connections up at the top here that you can plug in. And then on the side, there's a USB-C. And that's the plug that I'm going to use for the camera. What I typically do, because of the way this is mounted and the way I like to mount it, you'll see up at the top, if it were to rain or anything like that, these are not waterproof. What I use is a Flex Seal tape to cover those holes just to give some added protection. But then I just mount this right here on the back side. And then I take my cable and I actually run it through this hole here, out through the back, and then plug this camera in. And I won't put this on, but you guys will get the idea of it. This sets right on my chest. And I'm going to be honest with you, I do not feel that battery whatsoever. It's very, like I said, that concave part of the chest mount sets really nicely up in there. I wish it could be a little thinner, right? But always a work in progress. This works perfect for me. Yeah, I could position that battery pack down so water, rain doesn't get into the top here where those connections are. But what I like to do is I like to actually, when this is mounted on me, I can actually pull it down a little bit and see how much power I have left on the battery pack. Super nice, works great. These power packs, I can't say enough about them. This one right here, I actually put my sticker on it to remind me that this thing's been in the creek 6 or 7 times, honestly. Whether it's me taking a spill or a kayak overturning, you can see this thing's still working. You just have to remember to dry them out. I don't know what they're using to make these things, but they do a heck of a job, and they're really low cost. If you were to lose one, or if one were to fail on you, you're not breaking the bank. And that was one of the key things. I mean, battery packs can get expensive, but these are not. These are low cost, they work great, and they have not failed me, truly. So just to finish up here, I wanted to just shoot out a few tips. Number one, wind is your enemy when you're out recording. And so having some kind of a fuzzy mic wind block on these cameras is a must. There's small little pinhole mics on these cameras too. One right in front of the lens, and one up top that kind of captures your voice. And both, wind can run across there, chew up your audio. So having these little wind mic covers are great for when it is windy out, and they're very low cost. They do help, not 100%, but they do cut down some of that wind noise, which is great. Second thing, we talked about batteries, and if you were to get one of these batteries wet, it's always a great idea to carry a spare with you in your bag. So I have a small watertight bag that I put one of these spare batteries in and roll it up and keep it watertight in my sling pack or backpack. That way, if I do take a spill in the creek, I'm able to pull out a new fresh battery and I'm up and going. Another great tip is using Rain-X on your lens. That helps when you get a little bit of sprinkle or rain out there to kind of keep the raindrops off your lens. Also, if you're releasing a fish and he happens to tail you and water splashes up on your lens, I mean, it's not the end of the world, but it does help. And that water that hit your lens just runs right off and it's clean as a whistle. So that's another pro tip. The last thing is, this is something that has taken years to figure out. And, you can look online and you hear horror stories about GoPro. And guys, I've seriously never had major problems with my GoPro cameras, ever. I did, in the early days, figure out something right away that was causing errors with my camera. And it wasn't the camera's fault necessarily. It was the SD cards. Getting the proper SD card that's required, that GoPro states, is number one. That's key. Utilizing the right card for that camera. Second, before you ever use one of these cards, put it into your laptop or home computer and do a full format on this card. Not a quick format, but a full format before you ever use it in your camera. Once you do that, over time, and I have a habit of doing it, guys, because I've been busted a few times out on the water where my card failed on me. You'll get an error message or whatnot, and then, your card's basically corrupt. Camera's causing some kind of error, something. So what happens is, as you record your adventures, and let's say you come home and you download them and everything's good, and then you go into your camera and you go into format the card in your camera. That's like quick formatting it in a sense, okay? And so that clears everything off the camera and you're ready to go again, right? On your next adventure. About 5, 6, 7, 10 trips, I don't know, whenever it wants to. After you've cleared that card that many times, there's some corruption that happens on that card. It's not the camera's fault. It's the corruption, whatever damaged files that is. The camera sees it on the card and goes, hey, what's going on here? I don't recognize this. I'm going to cause an error. Okay, that's what's happening. So what I do to manage my cards, red is don't use, green is go. I have a number of different SD cards. And what I do is, after I use them about 6, 7 outings, 6, 7 trips, I download the information I need off of them, and then I plug them into my computer and do a full format, and then put them back on the green side, right? Like ready to go. Because I don't want to get caught out there with an SD card that is not working or is causing errors for me. So I'm always prepared. This is a great little box to keep all your SD cards, and I keep this with me when I'm traveling. Works great. So that's it. That's my full setup on my GoPro action camera. Make sure you check out the video description today. I'm going to have a link out to my website. I'm going to have a blog post about everything we talked about today, about the cameras, accessories, the whole setup. And I'm going to give you information about my configuration on my GoPro 13 and how I've set it up to be successful on the water when recording. So I hope you check that out. If you found this video helpful today, or if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Maybe you have questions about your own setup. I'd love to hear about them. Drop a comment below or reach out to me at castflyoutdoors.com. I'll be happy to help. And hey, if you're into fishing, thrill of the hunt, don't forget, subscribe to Cast-A-Fly. We'd love to have you guys on board and a part of the Cast-A-Fly team. Thanks so much. Have a good one.